Hey Candace. Okay, so here's the basics of what to do for the Wine 101 interactions. We don't have the images yet, so right now the main thing is to pull the content out of the course shell and put it into the right pages of the interactions within iSpring. So what I've done is I've made, this is a huge document, so don't worry about looking at everything else, but if you go to the third tab of the NVWA development tracker, it's called Wine 101 Interactions. If you click on that, this is actually a tracker to kind of be a one-stop shop for all the information that you need, but also to give you a place to put the content once you're done putting the content in the iSpring. So let me walk through that process with you. All right, so the first step was to build out templates and make sure that it's in alignment with the design of the course and everything. So I built those out real quick and I put them into this folder. So if you click this link for each one, it'll take you to the folder in our Google Drive. And it has two pieces. This one is the PowerPoint. If you have iSpring open up, you should not have to download this. This is like all of the components that go into the iSpring interaction. But the way it's been working for me, for some reason, I can't really explain this, is that if I just download this PowerPoint, then I am able to see the iSpring tab and all the iSpring materials. So you basically just download this and sorry, I just got the email from Russ. So you'll download this and then you're going to work in that. Let me show you what to do. I have way too many tabs open. Okay, so once you've downloaded it, it'll look like a PowerPoint. So we'll right click it, and I'm using Parallel, so I have to right click it. So I'm going to open with PowerPoint, not in my Mac, but in Windows. And I'm going to make this full screen, and automatically what you see is the tab for iSpring right here. So you don't even have to click that if you don't want to. The first page, there's going to be a little video right here, so you don't need to do anything with that. You go to the next piece, the interaction is already in here, and it has a little instruction that says click the interaction button in order to open this up. Don't click this. That's just like a blank button. Go to iSpring tab and click that interaction button, and then just wait, and that particular interaction template will open up. Slowly. Okay, so a couple things about every single one of these that you open up. For some reason, iSpring is struggling to, if I go into text style and I want to edit my styles, even though I have downloaded Montserrat, which is the font that we want to use for this course, it's not showing up in this particular setting. I've been on the phone with them. There's no solution to it, and it's not as big of an issue to where we would need to spend much more time on it. So what you can do, however, is I was able to change in the template the font just within format text. So the headings are Montserrat Medium. You shouldn't have to do anything to those. Those are already done. But what you do need to pay attention to is make sure that the text that you pull over from the course stays Montserrat. So let me give you an example. I've already done this one. I'm going to come to sparkling wines. And now I'm going to go over to the course, and this is lesson 1.2, sparkling wines. I'm going to have to scroll a couple times because I have way too much stuff open. So I'm going to come down to 1.2, and I'm going to scroll down to sparkling wines right here, and I'm going to grab this, copy, and then as you can see, it's Montserrat right now, but if I just paste it, well, first of all, if I just paste it in mine, it doesn't work. I have to actually open up a Word document. It's just because I'm using parallels. You shouldn't have to do this. You should just be able to copy it from your URL, from your browser in the course and paste it. And you see how it comes in funky. So you have a little bit of editing to do. If you want to, like when you paste it, you could paste it into a Word document and get rid of the formatting and then copy it from there and throw it in. And that seems to solve the problem because you can't do paste without format in this, which is really a shame. Anyway, so now that it's in and I've gotten rid of some of the format, I can actually come in here, put bullets in. It's not a lot you can do, but that typically will work. But what you've noticed probably is that when I did that, it switched over to Open Sans. So I need to come in here and then put it back to Montserrat. So I know that that's annoying, but I don't really know that there's a way around it. Looks like I put the wrong one in that, so I'll fix that real quick as an example. So I'm going to come back over here. This is table lines. This is the one that should be there. I'm going to come in here. I'm going to go to my Word document. I'm going to paste. I'm going to take away the formatting, copy it again, throw it in here. Put my tabs in, get rid of this extra space. Okay. Okay, so there's fortified lines still to do in this one. Once you finish putting the text in, what would be really great is for you to go through and just read it and make sure that there's no typos. Because every time we find a typo in these, we have to go back to the original file, fix the small typo, and then it takes an additional probably 20 to 30 minutes to update, to export, re-upload, and then re-embed. So we want to try to get this as close to good as possible. All right, so fortified lines is still blank. And to sum that up, the steps are throw it in with no formatting, double check that the font is Montserrat when you do bring it over, and then double check that there's no major typos. And then once you're done with that, you're actually finished. You're going to come here, you're going to say save and return. And that's going to pop you back over to your PowerPoint. And you'll notice that it changed. And it looks funny right here. Once you've done this one and done this one, there's 2 in this course. I'll show you how to preview. So when it's opening up in a PowerPoint and it's not a single interaction, it's called a course. So this is technically a course. But of course, this is just going to sit in one of our pages of one of our lessons. So this is the first interaction, and this is the second interaction. And this one is styles of wine. So this was types of wine, and this is styles of wine. And you're going to do the same thing. Obviously, that doesn't do anything. But once you've selected this slide, you go to interaction, and it'll open this interaction up for you. Slowly. Okay, this is a really good example because it actually has other headings. You can't mess with the HTML of this. So one option would be, if you really want to, is to come in here and color it. So the number is FF8F1C, and that's in the style guide too. And I'll change that, and then there you have it. And that's pretty much the same as the headings the third level headings will look in the course itself. So, and then we will eventually have some images to throw in here, and so I just have little notes wherever there's going to be an image or anything. That is not a typo. It just doesn't like the way that they like to spell it in this course. All right, so that's pretty much it. The only thing I would say is try to ignore this and don't worry about moving the hotspots around. You can see the little hotspots are in there. What we will do is once we have the image, we will replace this with the image that Carrie is making, and then we'll create hotspots over the labels that she's making. So let's go ahead and save this and return, and then I'll show you how to preview if you're interested in previewing. So I'm going to click this. And it takes a while. All right, and then this is what we'll end up with. This will be a quick video intro, and then we'll come here. We'll move our hotspots around. For now, it looks kind of funny, but you can move through the hotspots with this next button or by clicking the actual hotspot. So the new image will go here with the hotspots on it. It allows them to scroll here, which we want. And then you can just move through everything, and then it goes to the second one. And that's it. That's all there is. All right, and then just save. Once you've updated the entire thing and you feel pretty good about it, it's good to go ahead and put it, since we don't really know when we're going to get the images and who's going to be freed up at that point in time, let's go ahead and save it to your computer. And then once you've done that, come back over to this fun Excel spreadsheet and click the folder that says, populate templates with course text, which is what you're doing. You can just check that off and then click this folder, and then all the ones associated with that particular lesson you just drop in here, and then we'll all have access to it. Depending on who is freed up when we do have the images, that'll determine whoever's using it, but at least they'll have access to them pretty easily. And that is it. So let me give you a quick overview of the ones that you actually have, and then I need to show you an example of an iSpring only without the actual lesson. So we've got 1.2 wine styles, and that is a course, which means it's going to be in the PowerPoint, and there's going to be multiple interactions to work with. This is also in a course, so multiple interactions to work with. 2.3, Influence of Winemaking, is also in a course, so it'll be a PowerPoint with multiple interactions. And 3.1 is the last one that's in a PowerPoint, so it'll have multiple interactions as well. Then when you get to 3.2, 3.3, 4.2, and 4.3, which are the last four, these are going to be interactions only. So let me show you an example of that. You'll go to your link here, and you'll see 3.2, which is what we want to look at, and you'll notice that it's a download only, and that's because it's a zip file. It's too big for you to open right here as a preview. So I'm going to click on it. I'm going to download. Okay. And it should say visuals on the end, which is exactly what we want. I'm just going to put it on my desktop so you can see it. And it might take a little bit of time to download. So now I'm going to come over here. I'm going to X out of this because I already saved it. And now I'm going to my desktop where I put it. And here's my visuals. And I have to do open with. And now you notice there's no PowerPoint opening, and that is correct. That's exactly how it should be. This is just an interaction, a single one. Okay, so this is 3.2. So to finish this one out, we got the same thing. For some of these, I put in a little reminder. Don't forget to make sure that it's Montserrat. So I'm going to just pop over to my course again. And I want to go down to 3.2. And these are my old world. And this is Bordeaux. And so I'm just going to copy my text. Just like that. I'm going to pop back over into here. I need to use my Word document just because of the way my system is set up. bring it over as text only. I'm going to copy that and pull it in here. And then I need to go through and actually do some editing. So I don't need the word location. And these are headings. So just like you did with the other one, you come in here and you can change the color of the text. You got to go to format text. And I think it saved my recent color. Let's double check. Yep, it did, so that's good. And I need to bold it. There we go. All right, so I'll go through and I would do that for each of the headings. Take out the spaces that don't need to be there. I don't know exactly what we're doing with these yet, so you can just leave them like that as a reminder. Okay, so I've noticed that it's changed it to Open Sans, so I'm gonna come back here and I'm gonna change it to Montserrat. That's probably what's gonna be the biggest pain in the butt, so. And then go through and just double check and read for issues, and then you should be good to go. So I did not finish out the headings, and actually even that heading and the change I just made won't show up for you. This will just be a blank page for you. All right, so then I'm going to come over here and I'm going to save. And then when I'm done with that, I'm going to come back to my Excel spreadsheet and click on the folder where I'm supposed to put the content, and I'm basically going to upload that into this folder. And that's it. So based on the time that it's taken me to do these in the past, I would say you probably could get about, I mean, you're a little new to it, so I would think you could probably get all of these done in about 3 days. But if you need a little more time, that's fine too. The goal would be to have these done before the images are done. So to have the content in these before the images are done. So by next Wednesday or Thursday at the latest, it would be good to have these finished. I think that's about it. I will text you the link to this document, and that should be all you need in addition to this video. Let me know if you have any questions.